Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. This is Rachel Colton of R&C, and I would just like to thank everyone who has subscribed and left comments and questions on my tutorials. I really appreciate it. And I love getting requests. I actually got a request from someone on how to make feather macrame earrings. So that's what we're going to be making today. So what you will need to make these earrings is you need your earring post, and I'm going to be using this hook-shaped earring that has the little loop at the bottom. The other thing you need is what's called a jump ring, and the one that I'm going to be using is about 1/4 of an inch in diameter, maybe a little bit more than 1/4 inch, and it's about 3/4 of a centimeter, almost 1 centimeter in diameter. The other thing you're going to need is your string. I'm going to be using 3mm single strand cotton cord. You're going to need 9 strings per earring, so that would be 18 for the pair, and I've cut them all to about 10.5 inches or 26 centimeters. To assemble your earring parts, you're going to want some small jewelry pliers. And when the earrings are assembled and you're ready to brush out the fringe, you're going to want some kind of fine tooth comb. It can be plastic or metal. And you're going to need a good sharp pair of scissors to trim the shape of your earring. All right, so let's get started on these. The first thing that you want to do is you want to secure your ring to your earring post. Sometimes these come separated and sometimes they don't. So what you need to do is grab both ends with your pliers and then just gently pull in opposite directions to open up that loop. Then you're going to take the loop at the bottom of your earring and you're just going to slide the ring onto that. Then you're going to grab both ends again and gently pull those together until that opening closes. Then what you want to do is take one of your strings and you're going to fold it in half. So line up those loose ends and then you'll have a loop at the center point. And you might want to just give that a little twist to secure all those strings because we're going to be pushing it through this ring. So you're going to take that loop, feed it through the ring, and pull it through. So now you're going to have the loose ends on one side of that ring and the loop on the other. So you're going to take your loose ends, feed them through the loop, and then pull them tight and push that lark's head knot up to your ring. This is going to be like the backbone of our feather. So now I'm just going to secure the top of my earring. I'm going to try to lay it flat and get that ring under my clipboard just to hold this down and in place while I am forming my knots. Okay, so now we're going to add the string onto this backbone to create our feather. So for each part, you're going to need 2 pieces of string. You're going to fold those in half by lining up the loose ends, and then you have a loop in the middle. The first string is going to go under this backbone, and the second string is going to go on top of the backbone, lined up. Now you're going to take the loose ends from the piece that's on top and you're going to feed it through this loop that is underneath. Then you're going to take the loose ends of the piece on the bottom and feed it through the loop that's on top. Then you're going to pull the ends in opposite directions to form this knot around the backbone, and you want to pull that as tight as you can, and then hold that and sort of tug down gently on your middle piece. So those are nice and secure. Now I'm going to do this 3 more times so that I have a total of 4 of these square knots. You could also go with less to make a smaller feather, or more to make a longer feather. Now you want to stay consistent with the direction of the piece going underneath. I have my loop going under to the left and my other loop going over to the right. This way all your square knots will be lined up along the backbone. So pull those as tight as you can and then scoot them up right underneath the other one. Once you have all of your strands attached to the backbone, it's time to brush out the fringe. Now I know that these are much longer than I'm going to want my earring, so I'm going to trim off about 1 inch to 2 inches on either end. It's about 1.5 inches, just to make the combing a little bit easier. And I'm going to trim a little off the bottom as well. So the next thing you want to do is take your fine tooth comb and you're just going to gently brush the loose ends to separate all those individual fibers. And you want to make sure that you do a really thorough job of separating each strand and straightening them out so that they don't have any more twist in them. So I'm going to take a couple minutes just to brush this out thoroughly, and then we'll come back and do the last step. Once you have your fringe thoroughly combed out, the final step is to cut out the shape of your feather. I'm going to do this freehand. If you're not comfortable cutting this out freehand, what you could do is you could draw out the shape that you like first on paper, and then you could actually trace it onto a thicker, heavier paper like cardstock or even cardboard, and you could place that template on top and trim around the edges as a guide. If you're not comfortable drawing your own template, you could also just do a Google search for a leaf or feather clip art and just get a simple outline and print that out and then cut it out of cardstock or cardboard to use as a template. Now I'm just going to do this freehand. So I'm sort of going to start at the bottom in the middle, and I'm just going to go up at sort of a rounded angle. And you can make these as wide or as narrow as you would like. That's just a style preference. The wider you go, the floppier it can be. So you may have to find that you go a little thinner if it's sort of flopping down and you don't like the way that looks. And then after you trim, you want to go back and comb it out just to make sure you get all those loose pieces that might be hiding in the back. And again, the shape is totally a style preference. You can go wider or narrow, rounder or straighter, depending on your style. And that's what your finished earring will look like. And then you just need to make another one and you will have a beautiful pair of earrings. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Please let me know if you have any questions or any further requests for future videos, and please subscribe.